Good morning, Motorcars. Today is June 10th. Yesterday's answer to our challenge, manager Tony Myra described the Ritz-Carlton experience as what? The answer, wow experience, like no other. It's one that you walk in and you know whether you're the guest or an employee, that you are going to be treated like nowhere else in our industry. It's taking genuine care and comfort of our guests to the highest level. And I'm proud to say that we had 8 people get the question right. And so that means you're reading the book, and so I appreciate that. I think it's a great book, and I still encourage everybody to read it. Brian Zint won, and he won $650. So good job, Brian, and everybody else that responded to that question. I appreciate it. Today's challenge is the Credo. It's the most elegant form the Ritz-Carlton has to define the ultimate guest experience. In 3 easily memorable stances, what are they? The first person that contacts me with that will win a $12 car wash. We had 3 $2 bills given out yesterday, and I will read the comments on those. The past Friday, Mark and I gave each other a $2 bill, and this is from Brian Zent. I was off on Friday and got a Facebook message from our Motor Cars account when I was out doing errands. It was from a customer of ours asking for help. She had locked her keys, her car keys, purse, phone in her 2004 Accord. I found out by messaging through Facebook where she was located, and I called Mark to get her spare key cut. In the meantime, he didn't have anyone available to drive out to her because that was the day Honda sold 8 cars. They had a great day that day, and they were very busy. So I headed back to the dealership, picked up the key from Mark, and went to her house to drop off the key. She was so impressed and how we were responding. She was in tears. She was in a huge hurry and thought locking her keys in the car would ruin her day. It couldn't have been smoother because Mark was quick getting the spare, and so we exchanged $2 bills. And this lady is definitely a customer for life. Good team effort, guys. You know, keys are a good example that when I always keep telling you, you have to look for opportunities to make somebody's day. And when somebody locks themselves on a car or loses a key, that's a great opportunity. And taking it out to people gives you an opportunity definitely to make a customer for life. The other $2 bill, and this is from Brandon Baker. Honda Service Valley Brandon Baker gave his $2 bill to Jose Keyless. Jose was the customer checking in. It was in the customer check-in area and noticed the customer brake lights weren't working. He mentioned to the customer, and then Brandon, with his help, they checked the other lights on the car. So good job, Jose. Okay, this day in history, 1950, Ben Hogan wins the U.S. Open with a courageous comeback. 1979, John Wayne dies. 1982, E.T. the Extraterrestrial movie was released. Anniversaries. Solomon Clayton is celebrating his 2nd year as a Toyota Tech, and Trevor Giles celebrating his 12th year at Honda. So please wish them happy anniversary. Remember, June 27th is going to be our barbecue sauce cook-off, and it's going to come up quick, so please start working on those recipes. Tip of the day to get the 85% service retention and 70% sales retention. I want all our departments to come up with what ways we can wow our customers, because wow breeds loyalty. Some of you are having trouble coming up with ways to wow our customers, and so I thought, well, okay, I'm going to give you an example of one that I think would be a good one. Here's an example of how to wow a service customer that comes into the service with a nail in their tire. They are greeted by a valet running to their car with a big smile on their face. Valets always should run to the cars with a smile on their face and hopefully welcome the customer to Motor Cars by name. Running to the car tells the customer we are fast and efficient. Service should take the very little time to diagnose the problem and remove the nail. Patch the tire and check the other 3 tires. When the customer goes to pay for the repair, the advisor should say, "There's no charge. Just remember us when it's time to buy your next set of tires." General information. Don't forget that Kristen at the Toyota store is selling raffle tickets for Wounded Warriors. Again, I encourage you all. It's a great cause. And I said, if you can, see Kristen about it and give her your support. Gina's Journey, we have 5 days left. And please bring in some more hats. We need some more. I said we're doing a great job with it, but just a little more will make a big difference. Our all-star of the day is Georgianne, Mark McLaughlin, and Scott Shalinsky. I received this letter. Dear Mr. Guile, this is a letter of praise and accommodation. Of course it is. Who would not be a happy camper when relating with the folks at Motorcars Honda? This morning, it was my pleasure to be welcomed with a big smile and a hug, as I have been for the past 10 years, by Georgianne Perno. I needed new tires and wanted to purchase them from your dealership because I have trust and faith that whatever work is done on my 2009 2009 Fit, sorry, and my car before this one, is done with diligence and care. Georgianne is usually completely answered my questions and asked Mark McLaughlin to measure the tread remaining on the tire. Mark, a delightful young man with a wonderful disposition, was back in a flash with the answer. Georgianne then escorted me to see Scott Shalinsky to ask some additional questions, get some prices, and buy a 14-inch wiper for my rear window. Scott was very helpful and answered all my questions about the tires and gave me his card in case I had any additional questions. I felt well treated with patience and respect. I reported back to Georgianne, who was kind enough to have Mark to install the wiper on my car. Another opportunity to do something for a customer. He did it immediately and in a gracious manner. What wonderful support from the people in your organization. That's why I buy my cars from Motorcars Honda and why I only come into service at Motorcars Honda. Why I tell my friends and colleagues at Notre Dame College about my positive experience at Motorcars Honda and why I count myself among your biggest fans. Cordially, Roz. Again, there's an example of wowing a customer, taking an opportunity and carrying it to the next level. Good job, guys. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, and let's have a great day, okay?